Knicks fans, do you think Deuce McBride just forced Mike Brown into a real lineup decision? Because over the last 2 games, starting at point guard in place of Jalen Brunson, Deuce did not just hold it down, he showed out. And yeah, the Knicks lost both games, but if you actually watch them, Deuce McBride was one of the only things that worked. Now, the Knicks are close to full health for the first time all season and potentially will have everyone, their whole contingent, ready for tonight's game against the Mavericks. And Mike Brown might have a problem that he did not expect, so let's talk about it. So with Brunson sidelined, Mike Brown did not overthink it. He handed the keys to Deuce McBride. Not spot minutes, not go guard the best player, but real starter responsibility. Run the offense, play heavy minutes, create shots, and defend at the point of attack. And this matters because this Knicks roster is built around balance, not just star power. You got Brunson, Bridges, Hart, OG, and Towns right now in the starting lineup, but every decision around them has ripple effects, and Deuce just created one. Let's get straight into it. Deuce McBride over his last 2 games as a starter is averaging 24 points, 53% from the field, 46% from 3, 12 3-point attempts per game, and 6 assists as well as 1 steal. And about 37 minutes per game. That's not nice for a role player, but that's starter level production with starter level volume and starter level efficiency. And it's happening while he's defending the ball, initiating offense, playing nearly 37 minutes a night, and that matters. Now let's be honest, yes, the Knicks lost both games, but here's the part that fans need to separate emotionally. Deuce McBride is not why they lost. If anything, he was one of the reasons that those games did not get ugly faster. When your point guard gives you 24 a night, elite shooting, playmaking, and defense, that's not where you point the finger. There was a crazy sequence last game against the Suns that told the whole story. Deuce comes up with 2 straight steals, back-to-back, no gambling, but pure anticipation and pressure. Those plays directly led to a 5-point swing. That's not just hustle, that's momentum basketball. And under Mike Brown, who has preached urgency, pressure, and accountability all season, that stuff carries a lot of weight. Now here's where this gets uncomfortable, because when Jalen Brunson comes back and Josh Hart is available potentially tonight against the Mavericks, the Knicks are finally close to full strength. And Mike Brown has to ask himself and the coaching staff something real. Not who do I like more, but what lineup actually functions better. With Deuce on the floor, the Knicks get better spacing, another confident ball handler, elite point of attack defense, less offensive load on Brunson, and cleaner flow into Karl-Anthony Towns' actions. That does not mean that Josh Hart is not very valuable, it means roles may need to shift, not egos. Now let's be clear, this is not a Josh Hart hate video, this is not saying that Hart cannot start in some games, this is not saying that Deuce is better overall even, but this is about fit. Because Deuce just proved something important. He can handle starter minutes, he can score efficiently on volume, he can run the offense without chaos, and he can defend without fouling. He doesn't shrink under responsibility as well. Once a player shows you that, you cannot unsee it. And look at the roster: Brunson, Bridges, Hart, OG, and Towns, and off the bench, McBride, Shamet, Clarkson, and Robinson. Mike Brown now has real flexibility, not forced decisions, and Deuce starting does not mean Hart disappears. It might actually maximize Hart's impact against second units in chaos lineups or closing based on matchups. That's not a demotion, that's coaching. And so here's the real question for Knicks fans. If Deuce McBride keeps playing like this, even when Brunson returns, how do you justify putting him back in the box? Does Mike Brown ride the hot hand? Does he prioritize balance, or does he stick with familiarity? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I think maybe Jalen Brunson just has more experience and loves playing with Josh Hart and is more chemistry with him, and that's why the Knicks might prioritize starting Hart over McBride. Which is something fair to say, but I do think that also McBride has a lot of pluses when he is in the starting lineup, and it definitely helps with spacing and defense. Because even though he's only about 6'1" or 6'2", he definitely has a long wingspan, which helps him get some deflections and steals. So if both Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart do play tonight against the Mavericks at MSG for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I do think that you should keep an eye on the rotations and how they're going to be managed. But with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and sub to the channel for more Knicks news and updates you will not want to miss. It's been KNYT here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.